Welcome back, beautiful souls, to Softening into Momentum. I'm Miki. This is Season 3. 7 weeks on the gentle path. I remember when I first encountered the concept of mindfulness within the scope of my recovery, maybe a year in, maybe a little earlier. Someone at a meeting mentioned it. My coach suggested it. And honestly, my first reaction was mild resistance. I'd heard the word so many times in so many contexts, used to sell apps and yoga pants and productivity systems, that it had lost its weight for me. It sounded like a generalization for all of wellness, a blanket term, something you might hear in the circles of toxic positivity. Let's all hold hands in a circle and sing Kumbaya and practice mindfulness, and then it'll all be okay. This, of course, was my first instinct, my unhealed voice. But then I started actually practicing it. Not the brand of mindfulness, not the concept, the real thing, the ancient thing. And what I found was not what I expected at all. I expected it to be calming. It was, sometimes. But more often, it was revelatory. Because mindfulness isn't about calming the mind. It's about seeing the mind clearly, without looking away. Including, and this is the part that we often skip, seeing what is actually going well. That's what we'll explore today. The 3 good things. The practice of noticing what is working. In the Pali tradition, right mindfulness, samasati, is about present moment awareness without grasping or aversion. Without avoiding the truth, noticing what is there, without needing it to be different. The Buddha taught the Satipatthana, the 4 foundations of mindfulness, which include awareness of the body, awareness of feelings or sensations, awareness of the mind itself, and awareness of mental objects and phenomena. This mindfulness is not a passive practice. It's an active, awake attention. Not spacing it out, not flooding in some pleasant haze, actually being present in the body, in this moment, with whatever is actually here. Within the meta-momentum framework, we talk about mindfulness as noticing inner movements, the small shifts in mood, sensation, narrative, impulse, the moment before the reaction, the feeling that comes up before the craving really peaks, the early signal of overwhelm before it becomes a flood, too much, burnout. Mindfulness widens the pause. And as we learn in right action, the pause is where everything changes. Here is something important that neuroscience has confirmed. The human brain has a negativity bias. We are wired to notice, to remember, and to dwell on negative experiences far more powerfully than positive ones. This evolved for survival. The threat that might kill us deserves more attention than the flower that just smells lovely. But in our current lives, this bias means that most of us are spending a disproportionate amount of our mental bandwidth on what's wrong and what we should be ashamed of, and a comparatively small amount of time noticing what is actually working, what's actually beautiful, what is actually enough. The 3 good things practice, drawn from positive psychology, particularly the work of Martin Seligman, is a direct, evidence-based counter to this bias. It trains the attention toward what is working, not through bypassing or ignoring or pushing through whatever is difficult, but through balancing the account. In recovery, this practice is particularly powerful because so much of the addictive narrative is not enough, not yet, not quite, we need more, 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 more. The 3 good things practice interrupts that narrative. It says, look, here, this is also true. Mindfulness and sobriety have a complicated relationship because mindfulness, honestly practiced, means being present with the craving as it crests, as it peaks, feeling it fully, not numbing it, not arguing with it, not fighting it, not giving in, but feeling it. Watching it rise, watching it peak, watching it fall. This is called urge surfing in the addiction literature, and it works. But only if you have enough mindfulness to stay with the wave without being swept underneath it. That capacity is built through practice, through sitting with smaller discomforts first, through developing a relationship with your own inner experience that is curious rather than combative. The 3 good things is part of that foundation. Because if you've been training your attention toward what's working, toward the felt sense of goodness and sufficiency in your life, you have more to draw on. When that waves come on, you have good things to draw on. It's not that mindfulness makes cravings painless. It's that mindfulness makes you bigger than that craving, more spacious, more able to hold it without being consumed by it. The reflection for this week is, what is one thing I've done in the last 24 hours that I can genuinely appreciate about myself? Not because it was perfect, but because I showed up for it. And now, beautiful souls, we will move into a short, guided practice, the micro appreciation scan. So take this time to find a comfortable position. either seated or lying down. If it feels safe, close your eyes. Let yourself settle. And let's take 3 easy breaths just to arrive here. In through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Again, inhaling and exhaling. One more inhale and release. Arriving here. Let's begin with the body, the most present thing that we have. I want you to notice 3 sensations in your body right now. Not big, profound realizations, not dramatic sensations that might be painful, just true ones. What is actually happening in this body, in this moment? Maybe it's warmth in your hands, the pressure of your seat beneath you, the subtle rise and fall of your chest. Feeling of air moving through your nostrils as you breathe. Notice the first one. Stay with it for 1 breath. Now notice the second. Staying with that for a breath. Now notice the third. Stay with it for a breath. Three real, present, body-based sensations. Nothing fabricated, nothing improved, just what is actually here. Now, let's move to the emotional landscape, the weather of the inner world. What has shifted emotionally for you in the last few hours? Or even in the last few minutes since you sat down for this practice? Maybe there was a moment of relief or curiosity or tenderness, or even just a small softening of something that's been tight. Notice 3 emotional, micro shifts. They don't have to be positive. They just have to be real. A moment of connection. A moment of recognition. A moment when something landed differently than you expected. Three emotional movements noticed, acknowledged, honored. And now, and this is the one that tends to require the most courage, I want you to notice 3 things you did well today or this week or recently, if today has been hard. They can be small. They should be small. This practice works best when we stop waiting for heroic accomplishments and notice the actual texture of a lived day. Maybe you got out of bed when you didn't want to. Maybe you chose water instead of something else. Maybe you sent the text you've been avoiding, or didn't send the one you would have regretted. Maybe you asked for help. Maybe you told the truth about something small. Three things. Let them be enough. They are enough. Let each one land in your body. Feel the small satisfaction of it. The quiet, yes, I did that. May I notice what is working. May I see myself clearly, the whole picture. May I learn to be a witness to my own goodness. Take a full breath in and a slow breath out. You are more than the worst thing you've ever done. You are also the small acts of care and courage that no one else sees. Both are true. Both are you. When you're ready, gently open your eyes, becoming aware of the space around you. Welcome back, beautiful soul. The printable 3 Good Things tracker and self-love challenge with space for daily noticing and weekly reflection is all in the School Premium Toolkit. The Regulation Lounge. I use this practice myself. It changed the narrative of my own recovery more than I expected it to. So come download it. Come practice with us. We track the good things together in community. Next week is our final episode of this season. Right concentration, rooted power, stable presence, and what it means to stand steady in who you are becoming. Until then, notice 3 things every day. The practice is simpler and harder and more transformative than it sounds. The Softening into Momentum podcast is lovingly curated, created, written, edited, and produced by me, Miki Byrne, with accompanying sound bath frequencies by my good friend, Static. If you would like to dive further into his incredible musical work, please go to YouTube at Static is Noise. My new book, Permission to Be, a memoir about sobriety, self-trust, and learning to come home to yourself, is out now in print, ebook format, as well as the intimate audiobook experience available exclusively inside the Meta Momentum Sangha on School. All links are in the show notes. Thank you so much for softening into this moment with me. Until we meet again, Namaste.